was something that that I had been, kind of what's the new cliche term, but like sober curious for a little while because I'd honestly had a lot like my first platoon commander. You get thrown into
Yeah.
the wild ride of special operations, and it's a work hard, play hard environment. But he didn't drink. Good Christian dude, but also did not drink. He'd go out with the boys for that mandatory officer period. Then he'd give the responsibility to the chief, to make sure we don't go to prison.
Yeah.
And you know how it is. And then also I had, truthfully, I had been, you know, my drinking had kind of escalated over the years, and just with the stuff you carry, and then the rigors and
Yeah.
stress of entrepreneurship and things like that. And of course, just justifying it, you start lying to yourself that, well, I'm a high functioning. I would never say alcoholic. I'm a high functioning person. No, you're not. Maybe you're accomplishing some stuff, but ultimately you're operating, if you're drinking relatively consistently, you're operating at what, a good 50-60% on a good day of your potential. Well, fuck that, excuse me, but fuck that. So and I also started seeing it have a negative impact on my marriage, on my ability to be fully present with my children. And then with traveling a lot in the early days when I was speaking a lot, and building the consultative practice, gone all the time. Chris, and it's so when you're home, you need to be
You can be home.
emotionally,
Yeah.
physically present. You need to be home. And then last year was stressful with work, and then all these things kept happening where I'm like, God, I'm good on your tests. No more tests. Just give me some grace. Like test after test after test. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. And then my dad passed away, like suddenly out of nowhere. I was in Dallas on a business trip, and he had a fall, and it caused a brain bleed. 17 hours later, he was gone.
Sorry.
And that was kind of a catalyst to, and Chris, this, it's Ian, not that you don't, but I'm just saying, like, having lost, family, but also lost so many friends and teammates, that, and it's not a bad thing or a scary thing or a taboo thing to think about death. It is the one thing that's certain in life, is that we will all die. But considering, thinking, and reflecting on our own mortality does, or should at least, push us to consider what really matters in life. What are our real priorities? How much time am I wasting on the wrong relationships, the wrong activities, unhealthy things, bad habits? I don't have that much time. Hell, tomorrow could be the last day. What am I doing that's just a waste of time, that's deteriorating my body, that I'm making me lose productivity, that's damaging relationships that mean something to me? Well, alcohol was one of those things. There are a few things, but there was one thing that I could point to. And so for me, that was it. I didn't know meetings, nothing. I just fucking quit and never looked back. And like you said, people are like, wow, was that hard? I'm like, actually, no, it wasn't hard at all. I was so, like all of us in this virtual room, I'm an all-in guy. I'm all or nothing. There's no, well, I'm going to explore moderation. No, that doesn't work. It's so once I made that decision, it was like, I will never taste alcohol again in my whole life. So I've only got, based on my calculations, 38, 39 years left. So I'm on a good track.
How long has it been since your last drink?
It's been about 10 months.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So, but honestly, and I don't preach this to anybody, but since we're on the topic, and insert bad habit, it could be drinking, it could be anything else. But for me, for my journey, I'm telling you, just absolute game changer. Marriage is better than it's ever been. In almost 13 years, fully present with my children. Business is going through the roof. I'm taking a company through a full transformation, raising capital, building software, all these things that, to be honest, in the days that I was drinking, probably would have caused an immense, or I know they would have caused an immense amount of anxiety. Because again, going back to what you said, Ian, like intellectually, we know that it's poison. Yet we tell ourselves, like, oh, I got to have some drinks to chill out and, combat my anxiety. But then you wake up the next day with deeper anxiety, feeling like shit, and all the problems are still there, or worse. It's like it doesn't really make any sense at all. Yet we keep doing it. We keep lying to ourselves and telling ourselves that. But so for me, again, not preaching. It's just, for me though, it's been, my productivity is through the roof. And I had a lot of buddies, like I was saying before, that I deeply respect and have done phenomenal things in their career. A lot of them, guys from the teams, from military, special operations, that have done great things that I really respect. I was like, all right, I've got a support network, and I do. And it's been really cool, because now, I mean, the number one thing is I get to judge everyone else. So that's the most important thing. My wife will be pouring a glass of wine. I'm like, oh, got a second glass of wine, right? No. Hey, it's not a big deal. Not judging. No, you go ahead.
Thanks for checking out Battle Line Podcast. This is just a smaller clip from our latest episode, which you can check out in its entirety by clicking here. While you're watching, be sure to hit the subscribe button and thumbs up the video to show your support. Now, if you'd really like to help us out, click the thanks button below to make a donation. It goes directly to us in keeping Battle Line Podcast going for you.